Hello. Okay. Where was I? Something about... yeah. So they get... and... It would be nice. There are some things that I wish I could, like, get a little memory box and just put the memories in that box so I don't remember. And I've had that thought about a good couple of things in my life where I've been like, I wish I could see this for the first time again. You know, like, I wish I could play this game and not know that Umbrella's evil. And not already know about Wesker betraying folk. Like, it'd be fun to discover that again, you know? I mean, like, granted, it's not exactly fucking high art story. Oh no, the green herbs are dead. I did it on purpose. I don't care. It's not exactly high art fucking storytelling. It's not exactly unpredictable. But, you know, like there is fun in going through it already knowing and being able to be like, oh, here's where they hinted at that earlier on. I didn't notice the first time. But I do kind of wish I could be able to experience something for the first time again and not having known that, you know? You know what I mean? Because, like, it's impossible for me to go through this and be like, yeah, I know what's happening, so it's hard for me to sit down and go like, but wait, how is that actually presented as a, you know, a linear narrative? You know, when was the exact moment that this piece of information was actually finally given to us as a player? When, like... It's hard to say, you know? Like, the first time I go through a game, I'm like, ooh, and it's actually, like, I almost wish I could, like, mentally record, sort of, my first time going through certain games, because I don't know how everyone else does it, but it's always kind of a scattershot-ish little experience. And then, like, I compare that to how I go through games the third time through, where I know where everything is and I know what I'm doing, and it's just a very different kind of mentality, you know? Like, and at this point, I'm talking about, like, very, like, subjective, personal, like, outlook kind of stuff. And no one's even what I'm talking about. But, you know, it's a thing. It's a dang thing. Dang thing. What the fuck is going on? Shit. Sweet. Seriously, how did anyone live in this fucking mansion? That little side plot with Trevor, yeah, I think it's Trevor. And, like, he designed it. Actually, like, the construction of the Spencer mansion here, of like, George Trevor making all these traps and whatnot under Spencer's, like, architectural plans. It reminds me of the Murder House. If you've heard of that, it's this guy, this real-life serial killer, had, like, a fake hotel built Well, like, he bought the property and he did a whole bunch of construction work where he had, like, 20 fucking constructioneers, like, do construction work to remodel the interior of it to just be completely crazy and ridiculous. Let's see if the berry cutscene triggers. Nope, okay. So we're gonna get the full story from this. A man wearing sunglasses! Ah! But the last page is missing. Well, I can only guess that it was the most important part. Yeah, if you come here at some point earlier, or later, or earlier, I don't know, Barry will be in here, and he's reading that, and he's, like, freaking out. And, like, he ripped out a page, and it's like, like, a crucial piece of information is now missing. But, yeah. I guess that sort of answers that question. So, oh, they were researching a virus, and it turned everyone into zombies. Oh, goodness. But who? It was Umbrella. Oh. Shit. Oh, what a bunch of horse shit. I don't actually need this. Like I said, you don't need to come into this room. So I'm just getting out of there. Holy shit. What was my train of thought? Okay, I don't remember, so okay, this room is also unnecessary. Oh yeah, Trevor. Yeah, the murder mansion. Where, like, he, like, did this crazy interior design, and he got, like, 20 different constructioneers to work on it, and he didn't share the full blueprints with any of them. He was the only one who knew the full blueprints. They only worked on, like, one room each, or, you know, something along those lines. And then he fired them all and would hire new ones to finish off work they had started. And so, like, by the end, there was this crazy, like, maze mansion hotel. And what he would do is, like, it was, in this area where, like, a fair, I think it was, like, the World's Fair or something like that. It was, like, some, like, huge event where tourists would come. And he would lure tourists to his hotel and have them trapped inside and just fuck with them for days and days. And, oh, it was fucked up before finally killing them. And, like, he killed hundreds and hundreds of people. It was absolutely bananas. Yeah, absolutely bananas. Apples and bananas. And, like, I think in the end he almost got away with it, but, like, he got fucking picked up for tax evasion or something stupid like that. Like they always do. Like they always do. Al Capone also went down for tax evasion. And so, like, that's what the Trevor, plotline reminds me of. Where he built this mansion, except it makes less sense because it was a single architect, and he built the mansion by himself, and yet somehow he gets lost in the maze and traps of the mansion and not able to figure it out and eventually dies, and it really is stupid.
Richard! What happened? You're wounded!
This whole place is a killing zone. There are monsters.
What did this to you?
A big snake. And it had to be poisonous.
Poisonous? Richard, hold on.
Bring me serum. I saw some, but didn't bring any.
I'll go and get it, okay? You're gonna make it.
Thanks.
Do you fucking see what I'm talking about? This voice acting is utterly terrible. There is no excuse for this. You cannot sit there with a straight face and tell me that the voice acting for that scene is any better than anything that was in the original game. You cannot sit there and lie to me and tell me that, because it would be a lie. You're a goddamn liar. That scene was fucking terrible. I don't know who the fucking voice actor for Richard is in this version, but he needs to just... It's not okay. That's not acceptable. How anyone could tell me that the voice acting in the original game is worse than the voice acting in this version needs to just cut their fucking thumbs off in repentance. Anyway, fucking Richard. In Chris's game, that's the first place you meet Rebecca, which is actually a change because in the original game, the first time you'd meet Rebecca would be down there underneath that staircase where I just was, and she would mace you in the fucking face. But I think that's actually missable. It's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird set of triggers. This game has a lot of replay value, you can say that about it, because there's so many scenes that are, like, dependent on one another, where it's like, oh, you didn't see this scene because you saw this scene, you have to go here and trigger this before that scene will trigger. And if you trigger this scene, then that makes that scene not happen. It's really interesting. You really can replay this game a bunch of times and get a bunch of different, you know, like, see stuff you didn't see previously. Especially since there's multiple endings. I think there's like 5 fucking endings. And permutations, because, like, you can let Richard die, and that does change things later on. More for Chris than it does for Jill.
Here, Richard. I'm gonna give you a shot. Hang in there.
Jill, here's my radio. Take it. I'm... Does it ever not hurt?
Okay, let's just leave you here. Man, that arm is mangled.
The others...
Yeah, just leave him here, in this fucking alley, in this fucking hallway, with zombies everywhere, completely defenseless. At least in Chris's game, Rebecca, like, brings him down to some room to recover, and you gotta run all the way back. It's really annoying. But you already know, just leave him here. It's fine. It's fine. Shut up. But in the original game, even if you bring Richard the serum, he'll die anyway. But you just get the radio, and that's literally it. This is one of the places that the very dangerous zombie will spawn. Right through here. Instead of a generic zombie, it'll be the very dangerous zombie, and it's really terrible. The very dangerous zombie is Forrest, the guy who we got the grenade launcher from, who is dead, who was pecked to death by crows. Just wow. I have no words for that. And the very dangerous zombie mode is Forrest zombie model. Will have a bunch of grenades strapped to him, and if you shoot him at all, he will blow up and it's game over. And he will spawn in place of a bunch of different... in place of a bunch of different zombies. Like, around the walkway where the statue with the blue gem in its hand was that I pushed off, that's one of the locations he'll spawn. In that room just now that I mentioned, he'll spawn. And it's super goddamn frustrating. And it's fucking the worst. It's the reason you don't finish the game as Jill and Chris on the same profile. You finish Chris on one file, and then you finish Jill on another save file, and you don't do them both, because otherwise you get the very into zombie mode, and you can't turn it off. It's the worst goddamn motherfucking thing. You can't turn it off. That's the reason it's so terrible. If you could turn it off, it'd be fine. That's so cool. That's a cool detail. Because eventually that door handle will fall apart and you won't be able to use it anymore. And like, I'm using a route that's probably the most efficient in terms of avoiding conflict. Because if you go through the hallway that the dogs normally jump out of, if you keep going through there, a bunch of events will happen where motherfuckers will jump through windows and other shit. But the way I'm doing it, the route through the mansion I'm doing is avoiding all of those encounters. But, you know, the first time you're going through the game and you don't know it very well, there's a sense of safety in going through, you know, that area. Like, that's the route you take, especially since in the original game, that's what you first do. You go through the area where you get the map, and you go through the dog hallway, and, like, that's sort of the preferential route through the mansion. So you keep going back and forth through that area. That's how the game's sort of designed. For you to take that route back and forth. And the remake relies upon you following that habit. And thus it puts a whole bunch of encounters there to fuck with you. But, you know, I'm sort of cheating because I know better ways that avoid those encounters. And if you know what you're doing, it doesn't really take any more time. Again, that's what I'm talking about, because, like, I know what I'm doing. So it's a very different experience running back and forth through this mansion, knowing, okay, here's the key, I need to open that door, and I need to get that door open as soon as possible because it lets me go through this way to get to this area without having to go through that area. And it's just a very different experience with someone playing this game for the first time, being like, what do I do, where do I go, what do I do, where do I go? So, Nick, you tell me, this bitch just fucking sight-read Moonlight Sonata and played it adequately enough to trigger a secret doorway, a secret fucking passageway, which was keyed to a bunch of fucking music notes on a piano. What is the wireage? What is, like, is the piano hooked up to the wall? Did the wall have a noise sensor? What the fuck? Okay. And that's not the part that bothers me. The part is, oh hey, I'm just gonna pop this open. Okay, Moonlight Sonata. Doo-doo-doo plays it perfectly from sight. Like, first time. First time. I don't find that to be 100% realistic. Or reasonably acceptable in any terms. Like, how many fucking years of experience do you need to have to be able to just do that shit? Like, off the cuff. Like, fuck you, Jill, with your fucking Delta Force operative 24 years old. Trevor. Yes, I know the secrets of the mansion. That's why I'm going to die, not knowing the secrets of the mansion. Motherfucker designed the mansion, he doesn't remember his own puzzles. It's not really that complicated, dude. It's... I mean, there's no puzzle in this game on the same level of the fucking bird piano puzzle in fucking Silent Hill 1. And that was the first puzzle in the entire fucking game. That shit was hard. Like, it's not really that difficult. You just take fucking different permeations of keys and slot them into different permeations of locks. And then it's extremely simplistic, like, either memory puzzles or, like, logic puzzles, like this. Red knight, green knight. The red knight has a short blade, the green knight has a long blade. The long blade is going through the head, the short blade is going through the torso. And now we look at the fucking clock. Look, red head, green torso. Trevor's a fucking idiot, okay? And when he was trying to escape from the mansion, he didn't have to get through all these zombies. Okay? So fuck him. No sympathy. I'm doing all this crazy puzzle shit, and I'm running around zombies and fucking dogs. Fucking shit. He's running through the mansion just, I forget. I designed the mansion, I don't really remember. Fuck you. I don't feel bad. I'm gonna go fight a fucking giant snake for crying out loud. How you doing, Richard? I don't care. I forget, I'm not gonna, like, try to get bitten, but I forget, what the trigger is for, if you get bitten, you'll just pass out and wake up in a room having been saved, or you'll have to run and get the serum for yourself. And in the Chris game, if you get bitten, Rebecca will show up and she'll get the serum for you, and you'll get to play as Rebecca for a certain section of the game. It's actually really interesting. So yeah, here's a giant snake. His name is Yawn. Yawn the giant snake.
Payback time.
The giant snake whose name is Yawn. Try to, well, let's hold on here for a second.
Thanks. Richard!
So the giant snake named Yawn, just swallowed Richard whole there, with his yawning, huge mouth, to swallow a full-grown man, whole and alive. Okay, let's try to continue on here without really, yeah. So, moving on with the game here. We have all the death masks now. And yeah, I didn't get bit, so we'll never find out about the poison. Poison! Yeah, I think that's the guy, that the reason Richard finally got off his ass. He's like, oh shit, ooh. Oh shit, fuck that. I do think his shotgun's pretty cool though. Let's take a look at that. Yeah. Fucking A. Richard's favorite. I'm never gonna use this. Aw, I wish it blew him up. I really do. I don't think the Crimson Heads stick around when the hunters show up. I think the hunters, like, fucking eat all the Crimson Heads. I'm not sure. Let's go ditch some shit and get our masks and go fight Trevor. Or, you know, we can fight Trevor next time, because we're coming up on time here. I'm really scattershot. I'm getting pretty tired. I should be asleep already. So that's what I'm going to attribute my fucking drunk ass commentary to. Okay. Oh, I need to get the Okay, so yeah, hey, this is going well, right? I think so. It's going well. This whole little recording situation I got going on. It's all good. I hope you're enjoying. You know? Okay. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.